Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do have something to ask you in particular, POGLOSON. Everyone else has the team supporter pack, but you don't. Why is that? Why aren't you supporting the team?
I'm poor.
So you just need to stream and you need people to donate to you, right?
I guess.
Yeah, that'd be a good start. You know, support.
I mean, I'm playing position 5. I'm poor.
That's true. But you had a lot of impact for sure. You know, especially in the early game, in that game number 3, constantly scouting out Staxby and that greedy position 5 Enchantress, and we were really entertained. I mean, what sort of who is screaming the loudest at the end of a game like that? Because we were going off our heads at the end of everything.
You know, team comms is always like Miracle. He'll be like making all the because he will be making the moves, right? So he's screaming the loudest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just like listen to his comms, especially during the late game.
So he becomes like the Spirit Breaker, right? Like he's just this charging bull constantly and just yelling down the enemy team. I want to go back to game 2. Obviously, it didn't turn out quite as well as you would have been expecting. Do you feel like that came down to the draft, or was it something else, you think?
We spoke about it after the game 2. We thought it was a bit of draft, and then we reacted to too much of their plays as well, which was why the game felt so awkward for us. Okay, we made an error in the BP as well.
Yeah.
Anything?
It definitely looked like you. Was there a concern, a specific effort to swap the kind of placement on when you were picking up Alacrity's hero? Like through the game 1 and game 2 was quite often through the later phases, but in game 3, did you make that specific effort to pick his hero earlier?
Not really, because we are picking all these heroes that can like flex their roles, right? It's like Kunkka you can play on probably 3 roles, and then we are picking MK, you can play on 3 or 4 roles as well. So we are playing a lot of heroes that we can put on like different positions. Like we are picking Kunkka early and stuff, SF. All of them can play like different numerous positions.
Yeah, we see.
Absolutely.
We see a lot of the importance in the flexibility right now throughout the meta, and it's been like that for quite some time. I'm intrigued on kind of your process and the team's process as well with prepping. Is there do you do kind of the same amount of prep every week? It doesn't matter what team, or is this week specifically against TALON you guys put more emphasis on that?
No, we just prepare against every team that we are fighting. We prepare for the opponent, and we prepare ourselves to. I mean, we have like our own strategies to execute as well. So, in terms of BP, we will prepare for opponent, and we will watch how they play and stuff. But we still have to play our own game in order to guide. Yeah.
I have one more question for you. So, you guys as a team looked really strong during the TI qualifiers. You looked strong in a few of the previous Pro Series, but you started to drift off towards the most recent Pro Series that you were a part of. What do you think has really changed in terms to bring you back to this top form that you guys are in so far in this Division 2 league so far?
There was motivation issues within the team itself. The players, because TI was over, right? And then there was nothing to play for, in our opinion, which was why everyone started to get lazy and stuff. We didn't like really aim to improve on individually. So yeah.
Cool. Well, certainly this is one of those sorts of games that does matter in the long run, and with how hotly contested this division is, I'm sure you guys are very happy to pick up a win against one of these other teams that are probably going to be challenging for one of those top 2 spots. So big congratulations from me. Did you have anything else to close it out, Aries?
No, I'm good. I just want to say thank you very much for coming in the interview, and any shout outs real quick before we let you go?
Thank you for having me. Shout out to the Neymar Galaxy C fans. Thank you for supporting us. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us, POGLOSON.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi.